Top 10 Richest Criminals in the World. Criminal activity is clearly unacceptable and will result in a variety of punishments. However, some criminal activity may pay far more than any lawful work. These criminals have made enormous wealth that, if not tampered with, could provide for generations to come. Some even make a list of the world's richest or most powerful people, which is extremely interesting. While you're watching this, you're probably thinking about who will be on the list of the richest people. Well, here are the top 10 richest criminals of all time. Let's get started. Number 10. Frank Lucas. Frank Lucas was an American drug smuggler who operated in Harlem, New York in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Lucas was born on September 9, 1930 in the United States. He was well known for cutting out the middleman in the drug trade by buying drugs directly from his source in Southeast Asia's Golden Triangle. Lucas boasted that he imported drugs using the coffins of deceased American service members, as illustrated in the feature film American Gangster, which fictionalized elements of his life. Lucas estimated that he sold $1 million worth of heroin per day during his peak. He has a net worth of more than $52 million, as well as a large supply of liquid assets. He died on May 30th, 2019 at the age of 88 in New Jersey. Number 9. Joseph P. Kennedy Sr. Joseph Patrick Kennedy Sr. was a well-known American businessman, investor, and legislator. Kennedy was born into a political family in East Boston, Massachusetts. He amassed vast wealth as a financial exchange and commodities trader, which he then reinvested in real estate and a variety of business sectors across the United States. Joseph Kennedy made a fortune selling alcohol during Prohibition. He amassed a fortune of $400 million by selling alcohol to the country's prohibited zones. Despite the fact that alcohol was illegal at the time, he was able to make a lot of money by putting in a lot of work and resources. Number 8. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Joaquin Archivado Guzman is a Mexican drug lord also known as El Chapo because of his 5-foot height. El Chapo is a former Sinaloa cartel leader. Sinaloa Cartel is a global criminal organization. El Chapo is widely regarded as the most powerful drug lord in the world. Guzman grew up in Sinaloa, Mexico, in a poor agricultural family. He became involved in the narcotics trade during his early adulthood by assisting his father in the possession of marijuana for local dealers. The cartels dealt mainly with cocaine, but some heroin was produced in Colombia and delivered to Mexico. Guzman began working with Hector Luis Palma Salazar, one of the country's most powerful drug lords in the late 1970s. He helped Salazar plot cocaine trafficking routes through Sinaloa and into the United States. He oversaw logistics for Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo, one of the country's most powerful drug lords in the mid-1980s. El Chapo was arrested in Guatemala in 1993 and sentenced to 20 years in a Mexican prison. He escaped in 2001 after bribing several guards. Following his escape, American authorities placed a $5 million bounty on him, but he managed to stay on the run for more than a decade. He was arrested again in 2014, but he escaped again in 2015, only to be arrested again in 2016. El Chapo is regarded as one of the world's most powerful drug traffickers. In 2003, the mafia boss was named Mexico's top drug lord. He is the world's 8th richest criminal with a net worth of $1 billion. Number 7. Griselda Blanco. Griselda Blanco Restrepo, also known as the Black Widow, was a Colombian drug lady who worked for the Medellin cartel as well as the Miami cocaine drug trade and underworld from the 1980s to the early 2000s. She was accused of carrying out over 200 murders while transporting drugs from Colombia to New York. Griselda Blanco was shot in the head and shoulder and killed in 2012 at the age of 69. Blanco was a drug dealer from Colombia to Miami, New York, and California. Her nicknames included LA Madrina, the Black Widow because she killed her 3 husbands, and the Cocaine Mother. However, she is the 7th richest criminal in the world with a net worth of up to $2 billion before her death. Number 6. Adnan Kasaji. Adnan Kasaji was a Saudi businessman and one of the richest criminals in the world. He was well known for his extravagant lifestyle as well as his numerous large business deals. Adnan Kasaji was an arms dealer who also ran the Triad International Holding Company, a multinational private investment firm. At the age of 82, he died peacefully in London while being treated for Parkinson's disease. He was listed as one of the world's richest people in the early 1980s with a net worth of $4 billion. This earned him the nickname Great Gatsby of the Middle East. However, by 2022, he will be the world's 6th richest criminal with a net worth of $2 billion. Number 5. Carlos Later. Carlos Later is a German Colombian drug dealer, one of the world's richest criminals and co-founder of the Medellin cartel. He is well known for running a massive cocaine distribution network near his own private island in the Bahamas and collaborating with other big names in the drug trade, including Pablo Escobar. He became wanted as a result of a large number of crimes that was later arrested and imprisoned by the United States. Fortunately for him, his sentence was reduced and he was released from prison in the United States after 33 years in 2020. He is now living in Germany after serving his time. Carlos later is the 5th richest criminal in the world with a net worth of $2.7 billion. Number 4. Dawood Ibrahim. Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar is a wanted terrorist and Indian underworld mafia gangster who was born in Dongri, India on December 26, 1955. Dawood Ibrahim is the leader of the D Company, an Indian organized crime syndicate founded in Mumbai in the 1970s. Dawood is wanted on the charges of terrorism, murder, extortion, targeted killings, drug trafficking, and a variety of other offenses. In 2003, India and the United States designated him as a global terrorist, with a $25 million bounty on his head for his believed role in the 1993 Bombay bombings. He was ranked 3rd on the list of the world's 10 most wanted fugitives by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Forbes in 2011, though he has since been removed from that list. Ibrahim is in charge of 75% of the world's heroin trafficking. He is, however, involved in several other businesses, including diamonds, gold, and real estate. He is also one of the world's wealthiest criminals, with an estimated net worth of $6.7 billion. Number 3. Leona Helmsley. Leona Robert Helmsley was a successful American businesswoman and convicted criminal. Her fancy personality and tyrannical treatment towards her family and employees and even friends earned her nickname Queen of Mean. In 1989, Helmsley was investigated and convicted on 1 count of conspiring to defraud the U.S., 3 charges of tax evasion, 3 counts of filing fraudulent personal tax returns, 16 counts of aiding with the filing of false corporate and partnership tax returns, and 10 counts of postal theft. Despite receiving a 16-year sentence, she is required to serve only 19 months in prison and 2 months under house arrest. During the trial, a former housekeeper testified that she heard Helmsley say, "We don't pay taxes, only the little people pay taxes," a quote that she will forever be remembered for. She died at the age of 87 and had a net worth of $8 billion. Number 2. Amado Carrillo Fuentes. Amado Carrillo Fuentes was a drug lord from Mexico. He was the leader of the Mexican Juarez cartel, also popularly known as the Lord of the Skies. After his boss Rafael Aguilar Guardo was killed, he took over the Juarez cartel. You might be wondering why he goes by this name. He used to transport drugs via a large fleet of jets. He was also well known for using Colombia as a means of money laundering in order to fund his fleet. He was a rich and powerful mafia with 22 private 727 jet airlines and other private planes that he used to import cocaine. This mafia boss would smuggle drugs into the country from Mexico and Colombia. His wealth as a member of the Mexican cartel is estimated to be around $25 billion. He ranks 2nd among the all-time richest criminals. He was well known at the time and seems to be well known for any posts about illegal activity. Surprisingly, he underwent plastic surgery, ensuring that the police will never be able to track him down, but he died during the plastic surgery in 1997. Number 1. Pablo Escobar. Pablo Escobar is undoubtedly the most well-known drug lord of the 21st century. Pablo Escobar is incomparable in his field. The king of cocaine, amassed a fortune that made him history's wealthiest criminal, and also one of the richest people in the world. He had a near monopoly on the drug trade in the United States for several years. His literary empire is unrivaled, and when read about, it almost seems made up. His organization imported 70 to 80 tons of cocaine into the United States each month, accounting for 80% of the country's total, as well as hundreds of tons into every region except Antarctica. As a result, he earned $420 million per week. Pablo's wealth provided him with considerable clout, so he could bribe politicians or assassinate them if they refused his bribes. Forbes magazine ranked Escobar as the 7th wealthiest man in the world, with a net worth of $30 billion. Escobar was executed by Colombian forces with U.S. assistance following his escape from a Colombian jail in 1993. Nobody would deny that criminals can make a lot of money from crime, but the consequences can be devastating because the end result is death or prison sentences. This list of the richest criminals in the world is purely for entertainment purposes only. We don't mean to push you toward crime. With this, we can come to an end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.